Alright, so I'm doing a video on the rear bumper of a F-150. It's for years 2015 and newer. This is 2019 F-150. But a couple things on the rear bumper. One of my projects that I'm looking to do is chrome deletes on this truck. You guys have seen this one before. So I want to do some chrome deletes. I still have chrome back bumper and a chrome front bumper. But the other day I noticed, and you'll be able to see it here, that somebody's backed into this side of the bumper. And a way that you can tell is, the camera may not show it, but there's a little dent. You can probably see it like right around here. This is all dented in actually. But what made me actually notice it is, if you look right here, you see the spacing that comes out right here, and see how this is pushed in. So when you look at this side, you can see there's a good 1.5 inch of spacing sticking out this bumper. That's because this bumper was actually pushed back and pushed in when somebody hit it there. And you can look at the other side and you can see that this one's nice and level and flush with the vehicle. So on this side you've got nice spacing here, and it's nice and lined up here. But over on this side you can see it's been damaged, it's been bent in. You can see that it sticks inside of the actual body. And then you can see in here, this is also more snug as well. So that's as a result of this being pushed in when I got this ding here. So that's a way that you can see that it's actually been damaged. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna take a better look and see if the bumper itself, the main body of it's been damaged, or if it's just these outside pieces which can be swapped out. I have two bumpers, so I'll use a second one to show you how this comes apart, and then I need to figure out exactly what I want to do. There's a couple reasons why. One of the things I want to show you is the difference of some of these bumpers ratings, so I'm going to take a look at that next. Okay, so I'm under the bumper that's actually on my truck, and you can see right here it shows weight distributing 11,600 pounds. And on the other bumper, I'll show you, it's a different model number. This one is model number ending with AC, and that's for this particular model that's on this truck. And what I want to do is identify if this piece has been bent in, causing that misalignment, instead of the main bumper, which is actually this piece right here. So that's your main bumper that handles the weight. This one attaches to the body, or the frame I should say. So it attaches, as you can see, right there. And then same thing on the other side, attaches right there. So that's the actual strong part of the bumper. The parts that I showed you that are bent in are hopefully just going to be the trim pieces that are replaceable, and not the actual load bearing part of the bumper, which I don't think it will be. But let me show you another bumper to show you how this breaks down a little bit better. Alright, so we're looking at a second bumper, and this one you can see the model ends in AB. And so the weight distributing factor on this one is 11,000 pounds, whereas the other one was 11,600 pounds. So there is a difference between the models, and that's important to note if you're looking to switch out bumpers, replace a bumper, fix a bumper, you know, everything like that. So on this one, I've got this apart and off, so you can actually see how this works. So here's those same mounting points, and you can see there's one there and one there. And that's the main part of the bumper. That's the part that actually tows, connects your hitch, connects to the frame, does all the work. So you can see that's what I'm hoping is still straight on the other bumper, because it's got a better rating. But the part that's been bent is this part here, is what I'm thinking. When I take it apart, I don't know for sure, but this is just your regular, you know, metal, sheet metal, whatever it might be. And so that's going to give a lot more than this thicker solid piece will. So your bumper is actually not one solid piece with the cap. It's actually the top rubber plastic, the molding, and then you've got these pieces, which are separate pieces as well, that attach to the solid frame of the bumper, which is this piece here. So what I'm looking to do is take off my other bumper and take off these panels, and then what I can do is replace those panels on this bumper. That way I have a better rated bumper, and I can put the factory matched white panels on there. Therefore, I'm fixing this problem, but also actually doing the upgrade of doing a chrome delete. Now, I did get this bumper used. It's in good condition, but there is an area where I was thinking about doing some work to clean this up, where it needs to be sanded down smooth and painted again and then blended away. And I was thinking about doing that. Or the other thing I can do, because I still need to do the front bumper, is actually take these panels off, and I can swap those onto the better bumper as long as it's not bent in the main part, which I will check. And then I can do the same for the front bumper and have it all powder coated to match the factory, because bumpers tend to get a little more wear and tear. Doing a powder coat might be the best solution, so it looks good and it's more rugged. So to disassemble, take apart this bumper, first thing we need to do is take off this black plastic trim, the top bumper pad. And to take that off, it's pretty straightforward. So what you need to do is first take these two lights out. And to do that, you come here on the back side, and right in there, there's a little tab. You just squeeze it, pop it out. And then you can just pull out the tab. So that's how that piece is held in. And then we'll do the same thing for this other light. Come to the other side here, same thing, pop it out. And once you clip it out, it comes out like so. Alright, so I laid the bumper down. The next thing to do to remove this top cap, bumper pad, is to remove these clips and slide it off. So there's several of them that go all the way across. So we're just going to go through. They're on this side as well, as you can see. Alright, so here's all you have to do. Come in here, squeeze it, and push it in. Like that. And then you'll just do that for all these different clips until you go all the way through, pop all those clips out, and then we'll be able to separate. To make it easy to remove these clips, you can move this bar that's in the way. Now this is just a 1/2 inch. So take your 1/2 inch, loosen these up, and pop them out of the way. And then you can remove this bar, and that will make it so you have more clearance to get under to pull the rest of these tabs out. So once you've got this loosened, it comes all the way off, then you can just remove this bar. Now that I've got that removed, you can see I can get to these tabs a lot easier without having to go around them. Alright, so once you've got a few tabs off, then you can take and start popping these pieces loose and just working your way all the way down the frame. Alright, so once you've worked it all the way through to the very end, this last part comes off and this just slides out. And that is how you take the bumper cap off. So, pretty straightforward. Here's a look at it from behind. As soon as you start getting a few of these tabs squeezed and popped out, then you can just keep working this loose until the whole thing slides off. Now we can remove these plates. Removing these is the same process as those crossbars I showed you earlier. It's a 1/2 inch, and just loosen them all up. Okay, starting with these two first on removing these panels. For ease of access, I'll get these now while they're all attached everywhere else. And then once I remove these, then I will lay it back flat and I'll get all the rest. Okay, so with these two removed, I'm going to lay this flat, and now I will remove the rest to separate these two panels. Alright, so I got all of them removed except for these last two, which I've loosened. So once I take this last one off of these four, and then I take this last one off of these four, I should be able to easily separate this. As you can see, will just slide right out from this bumper. And that will just come right out like that. So there's one side. And then here's the other. Remember to keep an eye on all these metal clips, because they're what you use to attach the bolts through and lock it on to this piece. So once you do that, all that's left is the main part of the bumper. When I take it apart, it will be easier to verify for sure, but it looks like there's not going to be any damage or bend on the main part of the bumper, which you wouldn't expect there to be, because this is the stronger part of the bumper versus the panels that I showed you that come apart are just your typical sheet metal. They're not going to be structurally solid. Okay, so since we can see that the body of the truck and the frame and the attaching point of the bumper, the solid part of the bumper that appears to be nice and straight, are lined up as they should be, the most likely bend or damage in the bumper is just going to be this panel, which you can see from this angle. You can see where the bend is, and it's been dented in, and that what pushes this to be misaligned. So when we take this apart and disassemble it, like I just showed you with the other bumper, we can swap this panel out with a different replacement panel and be good as new. So doing a quick recap, I noticed damage on my rear bumper of my F-150, and the way I spotted it is you can look on this side and see that the body and this bumper line up nicely, but on this other side you can see they don't. Further, you can see that there's a dent where this has been pushed in, and that being pushed in caused this misalignment, which is initially what I saw that let me notice that there was damage here. You can barely see this dent because the whole thing was kind of pushed in, but as I shown you in the video, when you take a look and get underneath and compare it to the other side, you can see it's been dented. I showed you the process of disassembling all the different components of this bumper and identifying that it's my belief that this part right here is the one that's actually bent. In my case, I have these, which means that since I'm going to go ahead and do, most likely I'm going to get powder coating done to match a fresh set of these and also the front, so they all tie in, and then I will reassemble those new pieces to this bumper that's already on my truck. I will take that one off, disassemble it like these ones, and put it back together. That way it has the higher rating. I showed you in the beginning that these two bumpers, although are very similar, one has a higher capacity than the other. So instead of using this body, I will use the one that's on the truck, which should be fine and not be damaged, and just replace these damaged panels, well, this damaged panel, with the new colored panels, which, like I said, I may just have these ones blasted and powder coated because they're not bent. They're just, the paint is obviously been damaged and worn. So I can have those blasted This plastic cap is not in good condition compared to the one that's on top. So my plan will be to use this top, use this main part of the bumper, and use these panels, which are not bent, to put together a new replacement bumper to put it back on the truck, along with having the front powder coated at the same time, finishing further steps as far as the chrome delete that I'm working on this truck. This is where it's at right now. From my other videos, you can see some of the other things that I've done. Future projects, once I've done the bumpers, will be increasing the lift on this a little bit more and doing something with those factory running boards, either getting all black ones or doing some aftermarket ones, some step style. I don't know, I have to look at those options. Doing something with these emblems, like I said in my last video, but definitely getting the chrome off of this truck for the style and look that I'm looking for. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, found it informative. I appreciate your support. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and see you in the next one.